buckle up, let's slide. Madness in the mirror, music in the veins. Life on the road, through the joint of pain. But test vibes, we gon' shift the frame. Bus call, remember the name.
Tonight on Bus Call, we have Nigel Maestro, front of house and monitor engineer for Jodeci, Fantasia, Monica, Alex Vaughn, Escape, SWV, Babyface, Keith Sweat, and even more. Man, we appreciate you being on the podcast tonight.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me, man.
Man, so can you just tell us who is Nigel Maestro past the viral video online of him doing front of house and playing keys at that Jodeci show? Because so thousands of people have seen that clip.
Oh man! First of all, it's crazy. I just posted it, and I was like, "Hey, let me," and then my phone started going crazy. I'm like, "What?" But long story short, man, I'm a country kid from Georgia. Grew up in church. My mom was in Georgia Mass Choir.
Okay.
And so that's kind of where the music side came from. My granddad, he was in a couple quartet groups. And so I grew up in church and outside of church, going in rehearsals, sitting in rehearsals, and
Okay.
just getting it all. My mom, she prayed for me to have the gift of music, and it manifested. So my pastor, which later on became my father-in-law, ironically, and he invested in me at a young age, helping my parents with piano lessons, when I was like 5 or 6, because I was already starting to play by ear, and then they wanted to invest in, so I can learn what I'm doing.
Okay.
And then when I became like a teenager around like 14, 15, I started getting more interest into engineering. And so I would help out at church a lot, help with the sound, learning the soundboard, and it's analog stuff. So we had Soundcraft, Spirit. I remember that. And I just started learning it all, man. And I took interest to it. And then as, time progressed, like I'm addicted to learning. So,
Okay.
I mean, I used to go read books, all the things. I'm the one that read the manuals,
Okay.
all of that. And then when YouTube came out, that's game over. I've watched every single mixing video, consoles, just all of it.
Gotcha. Okay. And man, when I've interviewed people on here that are in the industry, the main lesson or the main message I get is they're always learning. They're always trying to study to show themselves improve, even though they're in the industry and they have jobs and they're working with artists.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Yeah.
people need to hear that and know that, like, hey, even though you see these people out working, they're still trying to learn and perfect their crafts and get better. Without that,
For sure.
it's going to be impossible for them to continue.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
So
correct.
when you walk in a venue for the first time, what is the first thing you do outside of patching a console or before you touch a fader? What do you do first?
Man, well, before I even listen to the room, I make sure I'm in contact with the right people, like who's the audio lead in that venue, or who's the
Okay.
production man for that venue, because I get started and needing stuff, and I don't know who to who to get in touch
Right.
with. So that's
Right.
very important.
Okay.
But then as far as on the audio side, I do the clap test so I can like hear the sides of the room. I clap, I listen for how long, that decay time is, because
Okay.
that's going to determine how much effects and reverb and delay and stuff I use. Because we all know artists, they want wet their
Yeah.
vocals up. Give me more,
Right.
give me
Right.
more
Right.
stuff. So
Okay.
I got to make sure that, and plus different tones, different sounds, cymbals, snares, they last longer. And so
Right.
I have to adjust for that when I'm mixing.
Okay. So how do you balance musicality and volume? Some people mix with a lot of volume. Some people have that sweet spot where everything just sits and it sounds great and it's comfortable to the ear. It's not harsh. When they leave the concert, your ears are not ringing and you actually
Right.
enjoyed yourself.
Right. Um, really, again, that's listening to the room. Then now there are a lot of problem frequencies just in general that I already know are going to be problems, and that's around the 2K range. You know,
Right.
between that 1.6 to 3K range, like all of that, that's
At
what
heart. Yeah.
actually is physically, yeah, it hurts the ears. So
Okay.
I do my best to kind of already scoop that out on my either on my main or on my matrix out. And then just listen, man. I just use my ears, and if something sounds terrible, I go and I adjust it from there. Now, if you look at it, a lot of times my EQ, it'll look crazy. Like
Mhm.
it's like,
Right.
man, do I really know what I'm doing? But I'm just
Mhm.
using my ears, and I shift it until it sounds right.
And I think people that's a good piece because a lot of times people think, hey man, a vocal EQ supposed to look like this. And I try to tell people, what does it feel and sound like? Don't look at the
Yep.
screen. What do you hear? Because it can look
Yep.
crazy on that screen and sound amazing in the house. So you really
Yep.
gotta depend on those
And that's
ears.
I live by that because, like I said,
Okay.
yeah, I
So
live by that because, like I said, being from Augusta, home of James Brown, he's like, if it feels good, it is good.
okay.
And so because I'm a musician first, I know what it sounds and feels like to, be on stage and have that feeling. And so when I mix, it's the same way. That's
Okay.
my instrument. So I'm like,
Okay.
I don't just use my eyes. A lot of times I actually close I make sure I'm on the right knob and I close my eyes and I'm moving it until it sounds right. It feels right.
Okay. So, how does your mindset change when you're mixing from like an arena to like a theater and then to maybe a club? Is there a different approach when you're going in those different spaces of different sizes?
Um, yeah, definitely. Because, arena is, you're talking upwards between 5 to 10 to 20,
Hmm.
30,000 people
Right.
and in a big area. So a lot more speakers, a lot
Hmm.
more low end have
Uh-huh.
to push it and it's a lot more distance from the stage to the back of the arena. So I
Right.
have to make sure people in the front by the stage can hear correct all the way to the nosebleeds. So it's definitely louder and fuller. And because
Okay.
of that, again, I do try to minimize as much as the high end heart stuff as possible because I do have to push louder versus a smaller area. So like a city winery
Right.
where people are, it's only a couple hundred people, if that, and they're
Uh-huh.
sitting down there eating. I still want it to be full. So
Right.
a lot of time it may sound like it's loud, but it's not really loud. It's just that I'm mixing full. You can hear everything. You can hear the guitar. You can hear,
Okay.
the bass. You can hear the ghost notes on the snare. So I
Okay.
make sure that you can hear everything that's on stage in the spectrum. But so it's full, but not loud.
Okay. Do you build different snapshots to start from when you're mixing for different rooms? So let's say if you're traveling with different artists, do you save snapshots or actual scenes from different venues to say, okay, this is my starting point for the Fox Theater in Atlanta?
Got you. Yeah. So based on so yes and no. For
Okay.
one offs, I just have I save each show based on the city and the date that I
Okay.
was there for that console.
Okay.
Because in this industry, especially for one-offs, consoles change from day to day, from
Right.
show to show. Even though we advance for certain things, they may not
Right.
have that when we get there.
You're
So
right.
I just save, I have kind of a starting file for every console at this point. Now, if I'm on a tour where it's, the same artist, same show, we're carrying our equipment, then
Uh-huh.
that's when I'll start to build snapshots for each song because it's a
Okay.
more controlled situation going on. Even though the venues change, because I'm
Uh-huh.
on the same console every night, I can start to really build those snapshots for each song.
Okay. And what is your favorite console as of right now to mix on? What feels like home for you when you sit down at a console?
Oh yeah. So Digico for sure. Specifically the 338, the
Okay.
Quantum
Yeah.
338.
Yeah.
I like it because it gives me everything that I need processing wise
Okay.
to get that sound. That
Okay.
nice quality, full band, just smooth sound.
Okay. So are you a waves every show engineer, or are you like, I keep it simple and I use maybe waves here and there? I know
Man,
this is a debate because some people like I love them, some people like I hate them. So
I have a love-hate relationship with waves.
okay.
Emphasis on the on the hate, only because it messed me up trying. So I used to be waves. Hey, I need to depend on it. But
Okay.
if you do that, if that server crashes and you've built your whole mix on the waves, you done. And that happened to
Man.
me. So I can't blame waves for that though, because
Right.
again, equipment is equipment. Things happen. So that's totally on my fault. Had I built this session, on the console first
Mhm.
and then added the sauce, which is what I do now, even though that wave server crashed, the show wouldn't have been ruined like it was. So
Gotcha. Okay. So what are two if you had to use two or three plugins, what are the two or three plugins that would be on your console in your rack that you would use on a regular basis if you only had to use three of them?
SSL for sure. SSL
Okay.
E channel.
Yeah. Good.
Or the G channel, both of them, they're good. Also, 2A, the LA 2A.
Okay. Yeah.
I also love the 76, the 1176. So the CLA 2A and the CLA 76.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
also, I like the Pool Child 670, which is a bus compressor.
Okay.
So, yep.
Okay. And what are some mistakes that you think people make when choosing a mic, based off of hype, based off of, and not off of the artist's voice? Because a lot of people kind of choose things off of what they see. A person like you might post or you might say something about it and they try to go get it, but it may not fit the artist that they're working with.
Got you. Yeah. Again, it's just that's how we learn though, because I used to, and honestly, sometimes I still do. If it's somebody that I
Okay.
look up to, I respect, and if I'm here, but see, I listen kind of subjectively. I listen to the results that they're getting from that said product, mic or whatever, and I'm like, oh,
Okay.
okay, I like the way that sounds. So then I'll go and try it, and I like it. So for instance, that's why I use SC now, SC Electronics. And
Okay.
shout out to SC for endorsing me with the
Okay.
artist that I'm working with. And so their capsules for vocals and for drums, they give me the clarity and the punch and everything that I
Okay.
need.
Huh. Okay. So the SE. So what SE wireless capsule are you using?
The V7, the MC1 for the Shure wireless. They only have
Okay.
that one right now, so
Okay.
but
So the
that
SE7.
one
Okay.
is consistent.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Huh, okay. I was just about to ask you, what is your go-to wireless capsule? So that SE capsule. I've seen a lot of people use SE capsules and they're very pleased with those SE capsules. So
Oh yeah. Yeah,
okay.
no, I use it with Marsha Ambrosius. She loves it. KC, with
Okay.
Jodeci, and Babyface. Like all three of them, three
Gotcha.
different three different artists, three different voices. And I also use it for my pastor as well. So I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
that's four different texture voices, four
Hmm.
different applications, and they all just now I am EQing them slightly different because their voices are different, but
Okay.
they still are able to handle I get the actual, it sounds like them, just
Gotcha.
amplified. It
Okay.
doesn't
That
add
makes sense.
any extra, false um false harmonics or anything like that. It's really capturing their voice.
Okay. Out of all the artists that you've worked with, Who has challenged you the most, but in a good way, and why?
Um, hmm. I have to say between Jagged Edge and Jodeci.
Okay.
And that's because in a good way,
Mm-hmm.
doing monitors for them, because it's four of them. It's four artists
Okay.
on stage at the same time, and they don't use ears. So I'm using all boxes.
Oh wow.
Sometimes, yeah. So downstage, side fills, and then sometimes butt fills as well. And on
Okay.
the last tour I did with Jagged Edge, I had butt fill, and I also had, because they went up on a platform in the back.
Okay.
So I had those set of speakers. So I had upstage speakers, butt fill, downstage, and side fills with
Oh wow.
4 live hot mics on
Hot
stage.
mic.
With right with the live band. So, snare, cymbals. So it was, yeah, definitely challenging. But I got through it. We did it. We had amazing shows.
Okay.
Same thing with Jodeci. I figured it out, and now I'm like, man, I can mix anybody for them. Like that's how.
Yeah.
Same with Babyface. He doesn't wear ears either. It's full band, and I have
Wow.
downstage and side fills, and it's 1, 2, 3. It's 5 of them on stage, the background
Mm.
singers plus him.
Okay.
So
Okay. What makes mixing like R&B groups like a SWV or 112 Jagged Edge different from mixing like a solo artist like a Babyface or Keith Sweat?
um so well, for clarity, so for Keith Sweat, Fantasia, and Monica, so I actually have, and we can talk about this. So for those 3 artists, I've actually only done playback engineering for them.
Gotcha.
I haven't
Okay.
actually been on the console. I've helped, like
Gotcha.
I've like filled in if somebody stepped away.
Okay.
So, but as far as for Marsha and Babyface versus the groups, it's yeah, like I said, it's a lot easier to contain and control one open mic on stage
Gotcha.
versus 4. Having all the bleed, try to control. So I have to control my gates or expanders or
Okay.
PSE
Yeah.
or
Okay.
yeah, the MSD, which is on the Digico. So to
Yeah.
control a lot of just those dynamics, that's definitely it's tougher having more open live mics than just one, for sure.
Okay. Do you like the MSC that Digico has created over the Waves PSE? Which one do you think is better or gets the job done for you in a better way?
Yeah, no, I rock with the MSC because it's internal. It's one. It's not. It's already there. I'm not
Right. I got
depending
you.
on that extra wave server
Got you.
to to have that happen. So the fact that they made that, I mean, it's a blessing, and it doesn't take. And because it's on the mustard channel strip. It's a separate dynamic.
Right.
So I still have another gate or expander that I can use on that same
Got you.
channel on the other side. So
Okay. So when you're a monitor engineer or front of house engineer, how do you earn the trust of these artists where they trust you to do monitors? So when they know that Nigel is over there, I don't have to worry. I know he's gonna have me together. Like, how do you develop that trust?
oh man. I honestly don't know, man. It still amazes me, every time I get the call, I'm like, okay, I guess they still rock with me.
Okay, I got you.
I just make sure it's a service position. And
Hmm.
so again, me growing up in church, serving, my pastor, and we used to have conferences and people coming. It's like, hey, it's not, I won't say catering, but like, yeah, service. Even
Yeah.
in the Bible it says apostles, prophets, all this stuff. Not trying to preach, but it says the greatest
Right.
among these are servant. And so
Gotcha.
I think people get misconstrue being a servant versus like being like a yes man, or like there ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do or walk all over me. But I'm just like, it's not that. No, I'm there. I'm here to make sure that you have the best performance that you can have, because
Okay.
at the end of the day, if the artist is not comfortable, they don't perform well. If they don't perform well, they don't keep getting booked and keep getting paid. We don't get paid. So
Mm,
I don't know if I should
okay.
or not, but I take on that pressure and that responsibility of making sure. No, I'm not writing the checks for everybody, but
Mhm.
it's my job to make sure that my artists sound good and feel comfortable on stage, so that they can perform their best, so that they can keep getting booked, so we can all
Gotcha.
keep working.
Gotcha. So how did you connect to be able to work with Jodeci?
Man, so Jodeci came from my good friend E Will,
Oh
which
yeah,
I
Eric.
met E
Got it.
Will. I met E Will. Just, man, this whole story is crazy. So I was doing playback for Keith Sweat,
Okay.
and I I was drove to Atlanta because at this time I was living in Augusta. I'm
Mhm.
in Nashville now, but so I drove to Atlanta to go to the airport. They called us, said, "Hey, this show got postponed." So I was like, "Man, I'm already in Atlanta." So I went to the gas station, was getting some gas, about to get on the highway. So
Mhm.
my friend Atiba, which shout out to Atiba, which he's owner of Oz Inc., which Oz
Okay.
Inc. is the whole reason I even got into the industry doing playback.
Okay.
So again, it's like these things line up. So he called me. He said, "Hey, I know that show got canceled." He said, "If you still in town, I'm at this rehearsal. They need somebody to do sound at the rehearsal because whoever was there couldn't come." He didn't tell me who it was, what it was. He just said, "This rehearsal." He
Mhm.
said, "You mind coming to help out?" And so, yeah, that's my boy. He's saying, "Need my help. It just got canceled." So I said, "Yeah." So he sends me the address, and it's Tyler Perry Studios.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, wow, okay. So I pull up, and then I hear Fantasia's music like
Mm.
through the venue, because I pull up, we're on the set of The Have and the Have Nots.
Oh wow.
And I
Okay.
noticed, because I'm like, I watched that show. I'm like, yo, this. I said, so in one of the houses, I hear her music. So I go in, and sure enough, so Fantasia, she's not there, but the band is there. So that's where I met E Will. I met Sticks,
Okay.
Devin, um, all these people, like, and I saw, I heard is instantly what needed to be done. Um, the mics was kind of ringing, and it just sounded a mess. So they had an M32. And I
Okay.
got on, and I started adjusting and working, and E Will looked at me. He was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that's
I was like,
that's
"You
E.
good?" He
Yeah.
was like, he said, "Yeah." And so that next day was the event that they were rehearsing for. He said, "Hey, what you doing tomorrow?" I said, what you need?" He was like, "Yo, you want to come, run front of the house?" So inside, I'm like, "Man, what? Yeah." But
Right.
I'm
Right.
trying to keep it cool. I said,
Right.
"Yeah, I can do that for you." And so that's how our relationship started. So not knowing, again, I didn't know E Will.
Mhm.
I think I may have heard his name before, but I didn't know him. And then from there, I just did that gig, and we stayed locked in. And then he brought me on to Jodeci, and that's how I got
Okay.
SWV. And so,
Yeah.
he just keeps rocking with me.
Oh yeah, he was definitely a good cat. He put me on some shows before, him and his brother Michael Curtis. Good guys
Oh yeah.
from the Buffalo, New York area.
No,
Yeah.
they're my
Okay.
brothers. Like, you would think we grew up together now, how much I mean, we've been together. That's been, 8 years ago now, and we've been rocking strong ever since. So
Wow. So, I mean, the viral clip. So, how do you end up mixing front of house and you're playing lead keys? And when I read the story in the caption, E Will's flight or something was delayed. You're playing main keys and mixing front of house. People don't even know that E Will's not there. And then when it's time for E Will solo, he come out with the guitar and he on solo, and you like, boom, you right back on front of house. It was like, how is that possible? Like that's wild to even see with that red board in front of house. It's like, wow.
yeah, so this was it was insane. That day was crazy. So he called me that morning. Actually, I think I was the first person. No, I was the first person he called, because even before he said, "Yo, I'm probably gonna be late. I see the way these flights are looking." And I said, "Okay." He said, "Can you play?" I said, okay. He said, because
Wow.
trying to get somebody to come, trying to get somebody that the day of to fly in, get a replacement and get it, handle all that. He was like, "I'm already there." He said, "I probably can get there before the set ends, but just in case."
Okay.
He said, "You good?" I said, "Yeah." So again, because I'm a musician first, and I've been doing it, like, I know all the Jodeci songs, I know all the SWV songs, I know all the
Wow.
Fantasia songs, because I've been doing either playback or engineering for them for all these years. So they're in my head. Like, I I can sing and play all these songs verbatim. But again, doing all that at one time. But really, church, again, back to church, that prepared me for that, because I played and MD'd at church, playing organ and key bass with the iPad next to me, connected to the X32, mixing my ears.
Hmm.
The singers need something.
Right.
So I'm like, I've already been doing this. But again, to
Hmm.
do it on that level, on that scale, it hasn't been done before.
Hmm.
Yeah, he trusted me, and he just said, "Can I do it?" He told KC, he said, "Yo, I might be late." He said, "But Nigel got you." KC called me back in the dressing room. He was like, "Hey, bro," he said, "E said you got me." I said, "Yes, sir. We good." He said, "All right, we good then." And that's one thing I love about when you have the trust with the artist as the MD, production manager, engineer, whatever. If your word is bond.
Man.
Casey, he's heard me play before, but because that hadn't been my main role. But he said, "E Will said, I got it." He one word. He said, "You good?" I said, "Yes, sir." And so I had hit the production manager up of the tour, Bam. I said, "Yo, Bam." I said, "So I need keyboard, like now, like ASAP, because I need
Hmm.
to." Even though I know the songs, I need to touch. I need to touch them, because
Hmm.
my mind's been on engineering. Mind you, I'm also running playback, audio and video from front of house as well. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
already doing So I'm already doing those 3 jobs. I'm doing front of house, running the playback, audio and the video from front of house. Plus now I've got to add on playing, main keys for the first part of the show. So I said, "Bam, I need a keyboard like
Wow.
now." He said, what's good?" I said, "I need to, run over these songs, because E Will's gonna be late. His flight's delayed, and I need that front of house." He looked at me. I said, "Yeah." Yeah, yeah, you heard me. He said, "Okay."
Wow.
And that was like 3 hours before the show.
Oh,
And
wow.
got it out there, got everything set up, and just made it happen, man. Grace of God. I prayed. I said, "Lord, I thank you for the gifts, and be with me. Don't fail me now." Make make sure
Wow.
my heart and mind is clear. And I just went at it and did it. And it just Casey did a
That's
show. and
Wow.
everybody, like, I don't even think everybody was even really aware what's going on, really.
Mhm.
I just
Wow.
made it happen, and yeah, and when E Will showed up doing that solo, we went crazy. We was like, "Yo, he's here, he made it." Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna insert that clip like on the as you're talking about it, I'm gonna insert that clip on this because it's like I didn't know you were doing playback and video and front of house. And let me play these lead keys right here on these. That's wow, man. Like you said, that's never been done before to do all of those, and you did them successfully and seamless, and people didn't even know. Like, oh, that's the front of house guy playing keys.
yeah.
Man, wow, that's a blessing. I mean, that's crazy to think of.
Yeah,
So,
man. And honestly, I really didn't know that that's not really, obviously, I mean, I know it's not a common thing, but I'm like, surely somebody has, you know. But now, I had cats like my good friend Rex Hardy and
mhm.
other people. They're like, bro, I ain't never seen in all these years. So I'm like, wow.
Never. I
So
mean, I've seen like your guy JT. Where JT used to have a digital in front and like a lightning console to the right and an L, but the video playback too and the track playback's like, oh no, dog, that's that's legendary right there. That's forever gonna be legendary, man. Hey,
man,
man,
thank
I definitely appreciate you sharing that story. That's yeah,
yes,
man.
sir.
What advice do you have to give for like young engineers who want to tour but doesn't know how to break into this industry?
Oh wow. So first of all, really, really lock down on your craft at home, at
Mhm,
at church, at the wedding gigs, like whatever you do during the week or weekly, or even if you're not even gigging, just at
mhm.
home, lock in on that craft because the worst thing to do is get a call
Mm,
and you show up and you don't show up,
yeah.
and that's legit been my secret weapon. I was already prepared because of church and also my guy Warren Brown. We did Yank Nation
Oh
for
yeah.
a long time. Yeah, I was
Oh,
part of
so you
Yank
were
Nation.
part of Yank Nation in those videos? Oh wow.
Yeah, see, so
Man, Yank Nation had us in a chokehold for
yep,
so long, man.
yep.
Okay.
Every week, man. Every Tuesday we would go
Okay.
live. But on Mondays we would lock in, and so I either would do the mixing or sometimes I would play. So either both. So I've been really, like I said, perfecting my craft between playing, mixing, engineering, running playback, learning Ableton, and
Got you.
so just making it. And I mean, bro, we would stay up on calls, man, from like 9 o'clock the previous night all the way to like 6 o'clock in the morning, like on Zoom calls and or even in the studio, you just working on Ableton, perfecting it. And so when I finally did get the call to go do playback for Keith Sweat, they was like, "Hey, my guy, Sleep and Reese, they got asked, hey, do you know anybody that knows Ableton?" And they were like, "Yeah, Nigel, he definitely." And I went and had kind of like I guess you would call it an interview and a
Mhm.
kind of first show. And T was like, "Oh yeah, like you know your stuff, man." And since then, everything, even when I met E Will, I just went to a rehearsal, wasn't even supposed to be there, man. Well, obviously, God, I was supposed
Right.
to, but I wasn't planning to be there,
Right.
and I just showed up. I knew my craft on the M32, and I went in there and just got to work, and that just that it keeps opening doors. So my main
Gotcha.
advice is when you do get a call, you show up and you show up big, like you show up strong.
Okay. So what's something that nobody told you about touring that you had to learn the hard way?
Mm. Pack plenty of socks and underwear. No, that's for real, because you get out here on this road, you moving, you traveling, you can't just always get to a store,
Mm,
you know,
yeah.
and then now you stuck, and you don't. I mean, you don't, cause hygiene and being hydrated, drinking a lot of water, like these things, like they matter. They catch up to you, of course, cause I'm 37, so
Mhm,
I did the family thing first, got married,
mhm,
have kids, and still working on music, and everything
mhm.
through the whole process. But not in my teens or 20s, but still, even then, it's like you think you can just keep going, and no, you gotta take care of your body, man, for sure.
Gotcha. So how do you balance family life and road life when road life takes up so much time? And as we know, sometimes road life makes us miss special days like a birthday or a holiday. Like, how do you balance those to still make sure you take care of home?
So I just communicate. I communicate with my wife and my kids, let them know what I'm doing. We FaceTime a lot.
Okay.
I send pictures and videos, let them know that, hey, I'm not just gone, but
Hmm.
that is working. You know,
Gotcha.
it's a difference versus just, hey, I'll be back. No, hey, I'm going to do this. This is what, I'm doing. This is how we live. We
Hmm.
like, you like the kids, like that iPad and,
Right.
they
Right.
Netflix
Right.
and, our cars and our house. We don't have no mansion, but we also not, we're not starving. So it's just like, I want us to
Right.
live comfortably. And so in order for us to do that, like it's right now, this is the trade-off. Because
Gotcha.
at the moment there's not a quote unquote regular 9 to 5 job
Hmm.
that I can go and still, you know, make what I make, for us to live comfortably, especially, with my wife not working as much,
Hmm.
uh, with her, it's public knowledge, but her being diagnosed with lupus.
Okay.
So she doesn't work as much. So I'm mainly the breadwinner. So
Gotcha.
uh, I'm just grateful that I'm able to use my gifts that God gave me to
Okay.
bless people out in the field, but also take care of home. So
Gotcha. Okay. What do you feel like, or what do you think has been maybe the most stressful situation that you had to deal with at monitors or front of house? And then how were you able to deal with that situation?
man, the most stressful was back to the story of using the Waves plugins.
Hmm.
So I was filling in and I had to go do front of house for Tanaje
Okay.
for a show in New York, a festival. And this is right when her Match My Freak was hot and coming out. And so sound check, beautiful. I mean, just gorgeous. Like she walked out the front of the house. I walked out there with her. She's standing right here. I'm like, she's listening to the band, listening to everything. She got her mic. I said, yo, how you feel? She's like, oh yeah, nah, it slaps. I said, we good? Cool. Man, go throughout the day. That same day we had to do MTV. So we did MTV. I was in the control room, MTV. That went wonderful. We
Okay.
good. We get back to the festival. That's when that Wave server crashed
Oh man.
right before the show. And man, I mean, I legit wanted to throw up on the
Wow.
console. Like and then it was so bad, bro. It was so bad. People in the audience, some people, they was coming they was talking to the tech. I saw them and I'm ignoring them. They was like, hey, is he mixing? It's like, can he
Wow.
hear that? I'm like, bro,
Whoa.
right. It was one of them. It was like, what is he doing? Like people and I'm just like, bro, this ain't me. But it is me. And I take that on the chin, man, because
Hmm.
I should have I should have made my mix on the console, and I had a 338. The
Gotcha.
issue was I didn't have a file for that show,
Mm-hmm.
and so, but I had a waves file for my waves rack. So, and trying to, go fast and you speed it,
Yeah.
so no, man. So I will never, ever, ever, never, ever do that again. Always build on the console first and get right. That way, if that wave server does crash, you good. Bro, I didn't even ride back with anybody. I already
Oh
knew. I was just
wow.
like, I'm like, y'all ain't got to fire me. I already know. Like, I fired myself. Like,
Wow.
I took my own Uber back to the hotel. Like,
Man.
that
That
was the
you know
most
what?
stressful,
That
embarrassing
wow.
thing ever.
I think everybody has had one of those situations where it was just like, I know. I already know, hey, I get it. And you just gotta take it on the chin. And then sometimes them situations I had you like reevaluate, like, man, do I need to be doing this? And I'm like, I had to reach out to people before and be like, and they were like, they had to kind of tell me, like, hey, when you go in them situations, you have to be prepared for everything.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
be able to save yourself because nobody else can. And I know
No, yeah,
situation
no, for
save
real.
you.
I told my boy Angel, which he's shout out to Angel. He's another great engineer that
Mhm.
he actually helped me. He gave me a shot with After 7.
Okay.
Mix front of house for After 7. I told him that story. He was like, he said, good. He said, good. I'm glad I have it. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
he was, but no, like big bro moment. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, cause don't depend on, extra stuff. He's like, use your main, your main console, whatever you got. That's what
Yeah.
builds, men or women. There's great women engineers too, but that's what make a man out of here. And when you can go raw, so to speak, without
Yeah.
all the bells and whistles
Yeah.
and make it sound good, then everything else you have is just extra icing on the cake.
Okay. So do you have one of those aha moments where you were mixing for an artist and you was like, this is why I do this. Like this is, that moment when you mixing and you get the chills, that feeling of like, man, this is why I do this.
Oh yeah. When I mixed for Marsha, I think it was maybe like the second or third show.
Okay.
And I mean, this Marsha Ambrosi is like one of the greatest vocalists, musicians, songwriters of all time. I mean, she wrote Butterflies, for
Right.
Mike, just a whole bunch of stuff. So it's about the third show, got her dialed in, and even just in rehearsal, she was singing and just, oh God, it's beautiful. I got the reverbs going. I mean, the delay going on temp. I'm tap tempo,
Right.
and she sings, and she's like, "Oh, that's beautiful." Her accent, that's beautiful. And I'm like, I'm waiting for her. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for her to tell me, hey, okay, what I need to fix, what I need.
Mm-hmm.
She asked me. She said, "Hey, Nigel," she said, "You good?" I said, I'm good. I'm waiting on." She said, "It's perfect." I'm like,
Wow.
like that just okay.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
Not in a cocky, but like all right, I got this, because obviously she's been doing this for years, 4 years. So, and she's not afraid to tell you what she thinks and how she feels.
Gotcha.
So for her just to, say, yeah, no, I'm good. It feels good. I'm like, okay. I had that same thing when I did that show at Tyler Perry's that next day for Fantasia.
Mm-hmm.
She said the same thing. She was, she's like, hey, can you she said, give me a little more bass. Even though I was doing front of house, but the way the stage was set up, the subs mainly was, they could feel was coming from me. So she's
Gotcha.
like, give me a little more booty. And just
Right.
cut because I was like, I don't want to make it too, but she wanted to, and she's like, yeah, that's it. Oh, that feels good. And then during the show, I look back, Tyler Perry's, he's up in this VIP section above. you can see that on one of my stories where Cheryl
Yeah.
Pepsi Riley, she's singing. They're up in like this VIP, but during Fantasia set, I look at him, I'm with the iPad, I'm like, "How does it sound?" He's like, "It's perfect." I'm just like, "Wow, man,
Man,
this
confirmation.
can't nobody tell me nothing right now." Like,
I looked at Tyler Perry's studio and he said it's perfect, dog.
this is his event, his show, like it was his rap party for for the year for everything.
Mhm.
Usher was the headliner. I didn't mix Usher, but I
Mhm.
mixed Fantasia, Tevin Campbell,
Okay.
her, and then everything he did, and like I said, his special guest. But so for him to have all that going on, and he look at me, it's like it's perfect. I'm just like, okay, God, like, thank you, you know.
Mm.
So yeah.
Is there a R&B song for any of these artists that you mix with that engineers may think this it's easy to mix this song? That you're like, no, dog, it take a lot more than what y'all think to really get this song to translate. Because people are looking for that song to sound like it sounds on the radio.
Mm-hmm. I'll say, yeah, like so Jagged Edge, they're Let's Get Married.
Okay.
Both of them actually, the original and the remix, which
Mhm.
my dude Alex, which is the MD for that, he does a great job at translating the record to a live
Mhm.
version.
Okay.
And all the musicians they play, but it's like, hey, these people know these songs, like
Yes.
they know them from their core. So
Mhm.
if anything is off, I would say same thing kind of with the like After Seven.
Mhm.
When they sing like those songs from what's that, like Soul Food, and just their classic songs, because that's mostly the Five Heartbeat songs.
Right.
So a lot of people either know that or don't know that, so they like, especially the Black community, they know they know these songs.
Right.
So I have to make sure whoever's singing that lead part is up right there. If there's
Mhm.
a guitar lick, turn it
Right.
up and down, so I'm producing more than just engineering. Like, I gotta really stay locked into the songs, because a lot of this stuff is automation. Like, you can't just mix and set it and forget it. Like, I
Right.
have to I have to play with the band,
You're
so
literally mixing this song as it's going on. It's not just let me just push my faders like, okay, I'm good. It's like, no, I'm bringing stuff up, down in different
yep,
spots. I know the music. I'm prepared for it.
yep, yep, for sure. Same thing with Jodeci, when Devontae talks at the beginning, don't talk, just listen. Like, make sure his vocals are, so there's all these little,
Right. Right.
intricate parts that I gotta make sure is.
Okay. So, man, when people talk about Nigel Maestro years from now, what do you hope they say about your sound and your presence in this industry as an engineer?
My goal, really, I want them to say, man, every time he was either on a console or any records that they heard me mix, because I mix records as well. I
Mm.
want them to say, "It feels good,"
Mm.
and emphasis on feels good versus sound good,
Gotcha. Okay.
because those are the iconic and the timeless songs. Because if you go back and listen to songs like Billie Jean, or
Mhm.
other records, you can pick it apart and be like, "Oh, that don't really sound that," or this sound, but nobody's saying that. They're like, "Yo, I put this on. This feels good."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really because that's what people are gonna remember, and that's what people remember now. They don't put songs on because it sounds good. They put them on because it makes them feel a certain way,
That's true.
and that's what I try to do every time I touch a console. Especially when I'm at front of house, I look around the crowd. And since I'm doing these legacy R&B artists, I'm looking at, the aunties and the aunts.
Right.
If they up dancing and grooving, and like, I know I'm doing my job.
Man, that's good. That's good. Man, I definitely appreciate you coming on the podcast, man, sharing your story, sharing your inspirations. It means a lot because a lot of people need to hear these different engineers and people in the industry tell how they got there, what they do to actually stay in this business. So I appreciate it, man. I thank you for taking your time out to talk to us tonight. And man, hey, it won't be the last time. Hopefully, I can catch you on the road somewhere, or maybe
Yes,
we can
sir.
work together one day, man. But thank you, and I appreciate it.
Man, thank you. Thank you for having me. I love what you're doing. Thank you, for sharing your platform. And yeah, man, if anything I can do to help you or your audience, grow, yeah, I actually just did a playback course, so y'all can check
Okay.
that out. I'm teaching people how to run playback and use playback because that's a
Okay.
very prominent position for a
Yeah,
lot of artists in the
that's the
industry.
new, that's the, hey, do you not do playback? No, you need to learn it, even if you're not a musician, learn to
Yep.
do playback because everybody's show now
Yep.
has playback. Even if it don't got a band, it got playback. That's the
Yep.
new wave. So,
Yeah. Oh,
man,
I've been on plenty shows where it's only playback in the engineer. And in my case, it's just me because I do the playback and engineer.
I'm definitely gonna check out that course. Where can we check that course out at, the playback course?
So it's part of my community.
Okay.
I'll share the link with you. And
Okay.
yeah, you join the community, and we locking in, man. I'm sharing some industry insights with people,
Okay.
not just with playback, even with just with keys and mixing and
Okay.
just everything, man. I want us all to grow and elevate, and not be stuck, not be stagnant. So
Okay, most definitely. So when you give me that clip, I'll definitely run it across the screen so people can check that out. If especially if they're trying to grow and playback and different other things. Do you have social medias that people can check you out on and follow you on?
yes, sir. I'm Nigel Maestro on everything: Instagram,
Okay.
TikTok, Facebook.
Okay.
Everything, man. Nigel Maestro, LinkedIn, all the above.
Okay.
YouTube.
Man. Okay, YouTube too. So man, thank you. So we will make sure all that's up there so everybody can come check you out, follow you, subscribe, build your community up also. So man, again, thank you. We appreciate it and it won't be the last time.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you, man.
No problem.
Bus car, buckle up, let's slide. Madness in the mirror, music in the van.